Do you know the one thing you need to make sure people stop and watch your video? It's not the length, it's not how flashy your intro is, it's not even that baity title you used. There's one simple trick, and it applies to any video you make, no matter what the topic might be. What is up, filmmakers? It's Jordan with a new episode coming at you. Today, we're gonna reveal the secret of getting people hooked on your video and making sure they stay till the end. I'm of course talking about the hook. What is the hook? Well, make sure to hit like now and I'll tell you. A hook is content right at the beginning of your video. It asks a question and it establishes a mystery and implores you to watch to find out more because it promises a lot more. The two types of hooks I see are clickbaity intros and something called starting in the middle. Clickbait openings are like, you won't believe what happens next. They thought they knew what to expect, but they were wrong. This one weird trick changed everything. The end of politics as we know it. I never meant for this to happen. Clickbait relies on intentionally redacting important information, daring you to click so you can hear the punchline, even if the punchline isn't really a worthy payoff. You almost can't help wondering what could be so significant. And yes, these examples are often titles or descriptions of the video to draw you in, but I see things like these used in the videos themselves all the time. Our narrator or host might open with, "Stop scrolling right now because you don't want to miss this. There's something you need to know," before diving into the rest of their story. Clickbaiting isn't terrible, especially if you really are showing them something mind-blowing or totally awe-inspiring, something to match the hype. But in general, you should steer clear of these easy intros. First off, social media platforms are taking steps to reduce the effectiveness of hollow clickbait titles. And secondly, your audience is gonna get to know you. If all your videos are clickbait with very little payoff or not the payoff people are hoping for again and again, then they'll learn to ignore you. And sure, your campaign might change, but your audience, and especially the key members that account for the majority of your engagement, they won't. Starting in the middle. This technique is a bit more legitimate than clickbait. It gives the audience a taste of the high points of your video. It's like a trailer for the rest of your story. And what does a trailer do? It pulls a few key moments, exciting or emotionally powerful, from the entire film, and it piles them up into a miniature movie that establishes stakes and leaves you wanting more. It asks a question, and then it gives a promise of an amazing answer. So what we're gonna do is go through our video and find that emotional peak, that moment of heightened intensity. In a rally video, it might be when everyone's cheering or throws their fist up, or when a speaker says something intense or emotionally wrenching. In an interview, take a tip from the clickbait format. Find that moment when the speaker says, "I couldn't believe when, I had no idea." Set up that mystery and bait them with the promise of an amazing answer. Either way, once you find your hook, duplicate it and paste it on the front of your video, even before your title or intro if you have that. In fact, let's look at the hook that we used in this very episode. Do you know the one thing you need to make sure people stop and watch your video? It's not the length, it's not how flashy your intro is, it's not even that baity title you used. There's one simple trick, and it applies to any video you make, no matter what the topic might be. Well, hopefully I've been delivering on that promise so far. It asks a question. Do you know the one thing you need to make sure people stop and watch your video? And then it promises a big answer. There's one simple trick and it applies to any video you make, no matter what the topic might be. A good hook means that your video can be any length, aka the length it needs to be, not an arbitrary 1 minute, 15 seconds, or 5 seconds you assume will do better on certain social media platforms. Because yes, there are totally viral 10 and 20-minute videos out there, and you can bet your bottom donor that they all have a killer hook. But there is a limit on the length of your hook. Much like a good intro, it should be a fraction of the time that your entire video is. Even for an hour-long video, your hook shouldn't really be longer than a minute. On Facebook, autoplay as people scroll by buys you maybe 3 seconds. And on YouTube, the drop-off rate on most videos is over 50% within the first 10 seconds. So let's look at some good hooks out in the wild. First, TechInsider for the video, Why We Still Don't Have Electric Planes.
What could a future with electric planes look like? $25 tickets, quieter airports, or even shorter runways? Companies have been betting on battery-powered planes for this cleaner future. But even though electric planes have been around since the 1970s, they haven't really taken off. So what's keeping them grounded?
Nice. Okay, so this hook is 18 seconds long. It hooks us with a big picture right out of the gate. What could a future look like with electric planes? Most of the video is about technical challenges of battery weight and FAA approval processes, but what's the end goal of all of that? That's right, focus on the goal, the big picture, the high concept ideal. Then it gives us a mystery. They've been around since the 1970s, but something is stopping them. What? What is it? What has stopped this glorious future that they've promised us? Well, you'll just have to watch it to find out. This is really well crafted. TechInsider does some fun stuff. Their channel is linked in the description below. Okay, next, great big story. How scientists are protecting tigers in Thailand.
A century ago, 100,000 tigers roamed the earth. Today, those numbers have declined to just about 4,000. But in the forests of eastern Thailand, conservationists have found new signs of hope for this iconic species.
This one is 15 seconds, a little bit shorter, but so is the video. As we can see, a completely different brand, but a similar structure to their hook. First, it establishes the stakes, i.e. tigers have lost 96% of their population, and then it offers a mystery, the kind of mystery that promises a huge reveal, a new sign of hope in the forest of eastern Thailand. Even if you don't care about tigers, you've got to watch long enough to figure out what they found there. Also linked in the description below. And finally, Vox.
Ow, 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 ow. Yeah. Okay, ready? Ah. We're in the middle of an ancient lake basin that scientists think is one of the most Martian places on Earth. And we're stuck.
We're stuck here because I had a question. NASA says the first humans will set foot on Mars in the mid-2030s. It will be the most dangerous mission any human has ever taken. My question is, what comes after that?
Mars!
Not how do we get there, but how do we survive once we do?
47 seconds. This one's really interesting because it uses both techniques, starting in the middle and asking questions. It's okay that the hook is a little longer than usual. The video itself is 22 minutes long, and it's a bit more polished since Vox ended up partnering with YouTube to produce this one. But the basic principles are the same. Plainly, they know what they're doing. Also linked in the description below. Hopefully by now you can identify a good hook in the wild. But you and your team might not be making a video about tigers, Mars, or electric flying machines. Let's say, for the sake of argument, that you have something a little bit drier to talk about. How do you still hook them? Well, it all starts in the script. Let's say you're helping promote a bill about increasing regulatory oversight and transparency in the hospital system. Are there, too many tigers in the hospital? No? Darn. Well, let's try the first method. A clickbait intro might go something like this. There's an epidemic of malpractice today in our hospitals. Your health and safety are at risk and no one knows what's wrong. So what's up with our state's hospitals? This method works best if you can narrate a little bit, and even if you do have interviews with experts, it's okay to bookend your video with a few choice scripted lines. With starting in the middle, another easy end, your hook might sound something like this. This was something that was totally preventable and it never should have happened in the first place. Ideally, this is something that one of your interviewees would say at some point in the video itself. And you don't have to give any more details than that. Your audience is hooked. All right, it's been a long road, but I think you're ready to hook your audience. Remember, don't worry about the length. Focus on telling a good story. Remember to like and subscribe now, and let me know in the comments section a topic that you yourself are having trouble crafting a compelling hook for. Otherwise, I'll catch you all next time.